You are listening to the Wyrd Mountain Gals Show. Prepare yourself.
But
what about
Very
my AI
progressive.
companion?
What happened to it?
No, I
Not-
said, but what about my AI companion?
Oh, it's omnipresent.
Always.
It's
God.
the, I don't know where it is. I guess it's here on this. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's here.
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's going like nobody's business, running like a scalded dog.
Run, 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 run away. Hey, I wish you'd been with me this weekend because
Oh,
on the very last evening on Saturday night there was a bardic circle, which was like a talent show basically.
oh,
And
cool.
and afterwards a bunch of us were sitting around on a picnic table outside and sang gospel music for about 20 minutes. And
Yes.
one of them would come up with something and we'd all go, oh no, I know that one. We'd sing it for a while. And I told a story of I'll Fly Away and the Revelators.
Well,
And then we sang that one. And there was a gal there who was a former Pentecostal. And she was
Yeah.
like, oh no, I know all the verses to that. And I said, well, you and that audience did, but none of us did.
well, the audience they were with it.
They were
So,
great.
I just got a picture of us recording with CatDog watching.
CatDog.
He loves
CatDog.
being part of this. He really does. I'm telling you.
Well, maybe on the tagline at the end, you need to add, because you have the thing about Craig is add in CatDog. Couldn't do it without you, CatDog.
Wow, I could get him to talk to me a little bit. I'm saying recording with Byron, Miss B.
And CatDog. CatDog.
Yes, yes, oh yes. And the dog of cat, no, cat dog.
The dog of Cat.
I don't know
Poor
what my
little
problem
Yana.
is. I'm sorry. Let's see. There we go.
How are you?
I'm actually doing okay.
Good.
Yeah, I had the thing I've got to learn about now is cholesterol because my cholesterol is flipped. I've got not enough of the right kind and too much of the wrong kind, and I
Uh-huh.
need to flip that around. So I'll be working on that and stamina and my tooth. I made the call today.
Good.
So
Good for you.
yep.
Yeah, it it was really good this weekend because I was just really clear with people. I don't have the endurance I used to have.
Yeah.
And so I never would have done this in the past, but they have a couple of golf carts, and if you need to go from one place to another, I would have
Mhm.
just walked. But this time I would just say, I'm gonna wait around here till the golf cart comes by and go with them. And I didn't feel a bit guilty or nor nothing about any of that.
You should not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. What I'm learning is that when it comes to exercise, I'm not supposed to get out there and run and break a huge sweat and just really kill myself on exercise because that will bring on a flare.
Yes, it
Is
will.
that too many of the wrong kind of, what do you call them? Cortisols, maybe? I don't know
Maybe.
what those adrenalines are specifically called, but too much of that at once, and it can actually send me in a flare. So what they recommend is be more active all the time. And boy, what a good thing. Man, has it changed. I don't really feel like it all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't do it all the time yet, but I have been doing some stuff and I'm considering if I can keep up this good streak, which I'm hoping I can. And by good streak, I mean, I'm not actively sick and I'm sleeping, yeah, okay. Then I'm going to start doing this program that is basically 7 minutes a day of some, you know, aerobic-ish type stuff, wall
Uh-huh.
Pilates and chair yoga and stuff to kind of add to it. And
That
I think
sounds wonderful.
I hope it will be. I don't know. I honestly have never had to worry about it before.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm getting into. The last time, and I should be embarrassed, but the last time that I did any kind of formal exercise, it was almost like a dance class, and it was after Jane Fonda's workout came out. You remember that thing? It changed.
Oh, yeah. So it's like a jazzercise thing.
It sort of was, and it sort of, I mean, we didn't do like jazz hands and stuff like that. We did a good workout, but there was about 20 of us, and we'd get together on this floor and go through this exercise thing. It'd take about 20 minutes, and then we'd rest, and then 20 minutes and we'd rest, and then 20 minutes and we'd go home. And I enjoyed that. I was also, I don't know, 22, 23 years old. So
Yeah.
it's at least
Yeah.
a day or so ago. So, and I don't want to get out in front of a bunch of people, honestly. I want to feel free to sweat and look awful and wear something comfortable when I'm exercising. And honestly, my real preference is to do it outside, because then I can do it and not know it.
Me too. And my best exercise ever that I've consistently done, which of course I haven't done in about 2, 3 years, is to take a walk once a day. And it doesn't even seem to matter how long a walk, but if I could put in a couple of miles a day of just walking, I really feel so good, and it builds up your endurance.
Get get
I'm gonna get back to that by doing some short walks, trying to commit to every day I'm at home, taking
Yeah.
maybe just a short walk up to the community garden and back,
Yeah.
and yeah, and lengthen that as I feel able to.
Well, there's an accent books that I used to do business with back in the
Uh,
day.
That's
Accent,
Patrick's bookstore that I worked at there for 10 years.
that was, oh,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
had no idea. I didn't know. I like accent books. But anyway, he's
Little
elusive,
kitty boy,
the thing.
kitty boy, kitty
He's
boy.
elusive. He was
The
seeing something. He had
elusive cat
in his
dog.
eyes again. So I'm sitting in the front window like I like to do here when we record,
Uh-huh.
because it's pretty and it's light, and he's all about the participation. He likes to help.
Y'all, we turned the recording off for just a minute because we had something we needed to discuss that y'all doesn't need to know. And
Yeah,
by golly, there was CatDog. And I said,
in the
quit,
middle.
record so they can hear CatDog. And he just kind of appeared and then disappeared. The elusive CatDog.
Yeah, he's all about the elusiveness today. I wonder what he's looking at. He might be, we've got this place is Wild Kingdom this year. We've got the Phoebe bird eggs in one fern. We've got some mystery bird eggs in another fern. We've got a robin I'm pretty sure it's a robin's nest in the Sea Rock City birdhouse, and we've got a cardinal's nest in the backyard.
Oh my goodness, you've got a
Those
baby
are just some
nursery.
fun. Yeah, it's a Wild Kingdom here, and I have to tell you that Merlin app that you told me about, I am addicted to it.
Isn't it wonderful? I love
Ah,
it.
I have learned so much, and I keep thinking, how could I have lived here this many years, all my life, and not known some of the stuff that I could not have identified half of these birds that it's shown me, and I'm like,
It's
that's
wonderful.
I love it. And I also really like the Google Lens for
Yeah.
showing me plants. That's been a big help.
I got here after dark last night, and there's whatever bird it is that is nesting now on top of the porch light.
Oh,
The porch light, what do you call it? Movement sensor light came on, but it's not very bright. But it was bright enough for the mother bird on top of the porch light to be like, "What the hell's going on? What?" It flew all over the porch like this, and then finally flew out to be in a tree. And she was mad. She was so mad. And she's mad again this morning. She's just mad. It's like, this is my house. I live here. I don't know who you human creature. I don't know what you're doing here.
Just like when that person was walking through the yard with me, and when I was staying there, and the person was walking through the yard, I was, how could you walk through this yard?
Who do you think you are?
Yard. You know?
Trespasser.
It's so weird. Very, very weird. Well, I understand that the fireflies are out. I've got some good mushroom life going on right now. I've got some, not sure what they are. It might be some jack-o'-lanterns, but if so, it's very early. But I haven't gone out to look. There's a chance that I've got some really early hens in my yard as well.
Wonderful.
I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'd like to think that that's what I'm looking at. And, I'll say it again. If you want to come out with me to senior property and do some hiking, you might. I mean, we don't have to go up and down hills.
And I'm laughing thinking about the two of us hiking.
Yeah.
And we can barely walk to the damn car and unload the groceries. No, well, let's go put in a few miles on the Appalachian Trail. That'd be good.
I'd rather.
But yes, I know I understand what you're saying. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd rather do it there. I mean, we are welcome in my mother's neighborhood and in this neighborhood and probably in your neighborhood, but it's then you got to contend with neighbors and dogs and eyeballs and all of that. Whereas we need to get out to that field anyway, and we can drive to a flat place and then walk there and take a lawn chair if we need to. Hey, I don't care if I have to take a lawn chair, I'm going to do it.
And I got to be straight with you. In my neighborhood of $1 million and multi-million-dollar homes, we ain't hardly got no sidewalks, so it's not really safe to walk there.
It's definitely not safe here in Hendersonville at my house here because there are no sidewalks, and we're really close to the animal head, the humane thing, and there's just a lot of stray dogs in the neighborhood all the time. And so in addition to not being a good place to walk, and then my mother's neighborhood is a fine place to walk as long as you don't mind every single person living there checking you out when you're walking. Not to mention, at least every other house has got a big dog in the yard that will bark as you go. We know when there's a bear in the neighborhood by the dogs, and we can hear where it's at by which dogs are barking.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, what it's not is private, and I just can't handle that thought of becoming one of those people who walk up and down that road, and they do it for the right reason, and I'm proud of them for walking, but I'm not them.
Well, and you know how it was when you were living on Wyrd Mountain, and there were the little, I say little old ladies, they were probably women my age, who there'd be 2 or 3 of them, and they'd be taking their daily constitutional.
Yep. And that's fine. It's absolutely fine. It really
absolutely is good exercise, especially for older women, to just get them out of the house for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, I probably would come as close to walking in your neighborhood because just same reason. There's a little bit of privacy, even though there's not any sidewalks or anything, but little tiny bit. We could always, so whatever. If you ever feel froggy, you let me know.
All right. That sounds good. And I'm going to be up for that, but maybe not. I leave this weekend. I'm going up to see my daughter to celebrate her birthday, which was at the beginning of May. But, she's so busy, it's hard to get hold of her. Just like her mama. And then I go down to Orlando for that conference. Oh, yeah. So it'll have to be after that. So a couple weeks anyway. Yeah, the touring season has begun.
It has. Yep. You make me want to Get busy. Oh, get busy, Alicia, get to it. Uh,
We are going
I,
to get busy. We're going to get
yeah,
busy with a long key
yeah, you
and
guys,
a card. All we're going to get busy, and then the
yes,
life
ma'am.
of leisure will be before us.
I am so, no, I hope not. Because I'm really feeling, I'm gearing up is what it feels like. It
Oh,
feels
I
so
love that.
good.
I was so fortunate this weekend that there were so many people there that know me and a good number of them that love me, that we are people who love each other. And they would see me and they'd hug me and then they'd pull back like this and look at me and they go, "How are you really?" So I got to say, I'm better. I'm not best and I'm not well, but I'm better than I was. And I got to tell the story of the flood to a couple people. And then I was just, I mean, blessed is the only way I can say it, because the other two speakers that I was on, we did our classes back to back to back on Friday and Saturday, were people who are so fine and they're good friends. And we had a big old time, big time.
Wow. That's what you needed, I think.
And yeah, I needed to be reminded of the other thing that I do that is not yelling about painting and moving crap and no, you can't paint it gray and all that stuff. I needed to be reminded of the other thing I do.
I noticed you took some pretty interesting photos of I guess it was 40. That was seeing the damage by that bridge there.
Oh no, that was downtown. That was right along the French Broad. That was right at the trestle on the French Broad.
Oh, it's not recent then, or was it?
No,
Was
no,
that
no.
recent?
It
Oh,
wasn't. It wasn't.
well,
I think I put that up when it was 8 months. It
okay.
was like
Yeah,
8 months. 8 months. Yeah.
so I was I was interested because I got on a conversation yesterday with little Kyle and
Your
hadn't
little
talked.
nephew Kyle.
Yeah, yeah, hadn't talked to him for a while, and kind of out of the clear blue, I started telling him about what happened during the hurricane. And I don't know why. It's like people having to tell the story of the death, isn't
Yes,
it?
that's exactly right. Same
And
thing.
I remember I told him, I said, well, I don't know why I'm telling you this. I have no idea, but, and then I told him some more. I talked to him for about a half hour about what happened.
Uh-huh.
And, and it was after I hung up, I felt lighter. I felt better, but I didn't know that I needed to tell anybody that.
Mm-hmm.
That makes any sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense.
Well, it's not, I feel like I haven't said everything. Obviously, I'll say, talk about it, think about it, probably for the rest of my life. But
Yeah.
I also looked around while I was talking because I was, as usual, I was in my car. I was in a parking lot getting ready to go into a grocery store.
Of
So
course.
I was, didn't want to go in talking, and I sat in my car instead. And I looked at the people around me and I thought, well, if most of y'all are here, have been here for a while, most of y'all are traumatized. It just somehow it just kind of hit me last night that I've heard it talked about. I've heard it said that, well, we all have trauma from this, but the reality of that kind of hit me because, you know, the vast majority, I think, of folks around here that I know do not consider themselves candidates for any kind of therapy.
Right.
They consider that, well, shit happens and they can deal with it, whatever it is. And I really wonder about that because with everybody who was here got a little damaged from it, and I think most of us did. And it doesn't mean that we're not coming back from it. But I wonder what other coping skills got tested, what things came out, because that's what I noticed is that people who had like some underlying mental conditions, hurricane hit, the mental conditions came out, whether it
Eh,
was anxiety or anger or what.
There was a fellow this weekend, one of our cabin mates, who I don't remember how he got to it, but he said, "Well, you have to understand, I have CPTSD." And one of the others said, I don't know that. What is CPTSD?" And he said, "It's complex PTSD." And as soon as he said that, I thought that that is what we have here. Because
Think so.
whatever PTSD we had from growing up poor, growing up Appalachian, growing up fat, whatever our things
Growing up
that
female.
were grown up female, whatever those things were that were compounded into trauma, the stress of trauma. Then on top of that was this. On top of that was the election. And so I would bet you money that there is a level of complex PTSD in this area that will never be addressed. Never.
I'm sure you're right. I'm sure, because how could there not be is the thing.
Right, right.
Just
Well,
because.
and have you or I gone into therapy? No. Have I gone into therapy? No. I won't say you because you may be, and I don't know. It's none of my business. But have I sought out therapy? I have not. And something tells me maybe that's something I need to look at. Just finding
Well,
somebody to talk to.
I think that that's as good as a lot of things. Many of these people who have this, they're never going to call it CPTSD. They may not ever even have heard the term. And if they
Exactly.
had, they wouldn't apply it to themselves. I just don't
No.
see a lot of the old timers saying, "Yep, that hurricane gave me CP." I just don't see it, but I
Well,
could be wrong.
Well, no, because that's how we are here, and you and I've touched on this many times. Is that the standard position is no matter what has happened to me, somebody's got it worse somewhere. So I'm
Yeah,
not so bad.
yeah,
This isn't so bad because others have had so much more and so much worse than I have. So you don't have to worry about me.
yeah, yeah.
And
Well,
and we all grew up with that. That was the default setting for just about everything. Oh yeah, well, I'm missing a leg and one ear, but that feller down there, he's missing an arm and a leg and both ears. So I'm way better off than that.
yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, I would feel guilty because because I had so much, I had nothing to complain about. Okay. And I was always taught that you don't complain if you're not suffering. That's not, look at so and so. That's suffering. You're
Yes,
supposed to help
exactly.
folks.
That's real suffering. And look what a happy face she puts on all the time.
Right. But now in 2025, in my 60s, I wonder if there's really virtue in internalizing your own pain, prioritizing everybody else, and not being able to ask for help if it would help you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not so sure that it would help. I know there are people who they don't need help. If you try and offer it to them, it's going to be a disaster because they don't need it. They don't want it. Yeah. So you might as well just leave them alone and they'll go do their own thing. Very stoic. And maybe we are that. Maybe we are those people. I don't know. But it just kind of hit me that mental illness now is, I kind of think mental illness is everywhere anyway.
Me
But
too.
now
Me too.
I'm really sure that it's all over this area. And it makes me wonder how many times now, when we're supposed to get really bad storms, how many people in this area get nervous now? How many people do not enjoy the wind like they used to when
Yeah.
you hear the wind in the trees? And I was thinking about this. This is a private thing, but I'll tell you, through my life, I have several places in my mind that when I'm trying to relax, I can walk to that place in my mind. And I've memorized it through the years, and there's this one place that I have, and it's quiet and solitary house in the woods, just a little old place. But the walking to it puts me walking beside a creek. And then to get to it, I take a bridge over the creek to get to it. And I realized a couple days ago, I can't do that anymore in my mind. It's
Yeah.
no longer a retreat in my mind. And so that has got to be because of the hurricane. Because
Gotta
I've
be.
had that little place that I go to since I was a kid. I would walk down through the woods, and I'd notice the flowers and the turtles and the whatever, whatever, and it would just calm me down. And then I'd walk over that bridge and into that little tiny little yard and that little tiny little cottage or whatever you wanted to call it. And it was mine. And in my mind, through the years, I had put furniture in the cottage and here's how it's laid out. And then when I would need to sleep, in my mind, I could lay down and I would fall asleep. You see, and that sometimes would calm me down as a hyperactive child
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's funny, that's gone. That place is gone.
Yeah.
I can't even, wasn't even able to visualize it. So I know that's some mental thing.
Well, and
So
also
crazy.
that is a huge loss. That's
Oh
something
yeah,
been with you almost all
forever, as
your life.
far as I can
And
remember.
now here you are and you don't have it. And it doesn't mean you won't get it back. But there are layers of grief here that I don't know that we're ever going to get to the bottom of.
Probably not. I probably not. And I don't know what to say. It doesn't make us any more special than any of the other places that have been ravaged by
No,
weather
of
or
course it
disaster.
doesn't. And I posted this in my social media because it came across my social media about they have expanded Hurricane Alley. So it used to be the Midwest primarily, and now they have the area to the east of that is as emerging Hurricane Alley. And we are right at the eastern edge of it. That's us right there. And I
wouldn't
saw
doubt it.
that, and I'm telling you, it chilled me to the bone.
I don't know. I can't. This is what they predicted back in the 70s
Yes,
with the weather.
yes,
And of
yep.
course, I don't even need to go there about what my opinion on that is, and you don't either. We don't.
No, we're clear. We're real clear about that. But it
Yeah.
just made me, I think the reason it chilled me so bad was we survived the one-off of Helene, but can we survive that every other year? I don't think so. I don't think so. Can
I want to
I?
try.
Can I? I don't think so.
It's with as much as I've aged in the last 6 months, 8 months.
Yep.
I've aged 10 years. And not that everybody else hasn't, but that's what it feels. I don't want to have to deal with the repercussions of a hurricane every other year. I don't think I can. I don't know.
Me
We'll
either.
figure it out. We always figure it out. It'll be all right.
We do. And I love that optimism flowing through. That's beautiful.
Well, what's the choice? Die?
Well, the
Move?
choice is the way I responded, which was, oh my God, oh my gods, oh my gods. And so, yeah, I will get to the place where we will expand the food pantry and we'll make sure there's a room that's full of nothing but Mr. Heater, your propane buddy. I mean, yes, we will rise to the occasion because we always have. Now,
Yeah.
whether we always will is a future event that I cannot predict.
But if you look at your chances of survival, yours are at least as good as the average person's, would you
Yes,
say?
of course they are. Of course they
Yeah.
are.
I used to always say, well, if the bomb drops, I want you in my cave. Well, what I should have said was, well, if the hurricanes keep after us, I want you in my underground dwelling. Or no, wait, if it's a hurricane, fuck if I know. We'll be somewhere though, safe in our nose ship like the Benny Gesserit had.
Yes.
We'll be invisible, impenetrable. and forever sustained.
Yeah, if only we were developing that and not just developing Bitcoin mines. You know, if some of our technology was going towards things that were helpful and not Bitcoin mines and trucks that look like garbage scows and whatever else that, and AI and all this other shit we're spending money, that we are spending our intelligence and creativity on. Yeah. And I'm not even going to start preaching that sermon because you've heard it and I've said it and you've said it and I've heard it.
I've said it to the point that I was asked to quit talking about it.
Who asked you to quit talking about it?
This has been a long time ago, but yeah. But see, that's the thing. I've been talking about AI for that long.
Yeah.
And by the time I started talking about it, it was already too late.
Yeah.
And now, oh, the shit you can do with your AI for $3.99 a week or $39 a year, you know, or something like that.
For me, I mean, I'm a writer. I've been a writer my whole life, one way or the other. And the whole idea that you would just have Chat GPT, oh, but they'll fix it. Oh, but you don't understand, if I use that, it will write it for me, and then I'll have to think about it. Well, hey, guess what? What are you going to think about? It's not that. You're not. The thing is, you're not saving your brain power to think up the cure for cancer. You are just going to watch more Dancing with the Stars. So, hooray, welcome to the world of Wall-E. So if you have to depend on Chat GPT to write, then here are your options. You either learn to write, and it's not hard. There's classes everywhere. You can practice writing until you're good at it, but you will not be a writer if you are using AI to write, period.
Right,
period.
Exactly. What you will be is a person who directed AI to write.
Exactly.
That doesn't make you an author. It doesn't make you a writer.
Because
I agree with
AI is not a typewriter. It's not your ideas coming through because you're typing them down. It's not.
Right, exactly. And the thing is, you know, I've had this many times. I've had this discussion, and I've had this discussion in my own brain about what's the line of just intellectual laziness, because I'm quick to ask my device to tell me the temperature, tell me the weather, you know, tell me if somebody is dead, tell me, you know, stuff like that. Well, I mean, I see all this stuff on the book, you know, on Facebook about so and so, and I'll say, you know, so and you know, and I'll ask about it, and I feel like that's okay, because I would otherwise go to a radio, a newspaper, or an encyclopedia. And so this is a faster way of radio, newspaper, or encyclopedia. But there's a difference in looking up something and trying to learn something that way, and just saying, write my letter for me.
Yeah.
Do this. I've got this letter. I've tried that. I helped a friend out who was trying to ask a bank for to extend a loan or a different kind of loan or something, and this person gave me all the pertinent information. I put it into the AI bot, the pertinent information with their permission, and it wrote a letter that was so good, and it took it 0 time. As soon as I hit enter, it started putting the letter out there. I sent it to that person. That person printed it, signed it, got it to the bank, got their loan modified, and the person at the bank said that's one of the best letters they'd ever read.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sure how I feel about that. I could have written him a letter with all those things, and it would have taken a long, long time for me to personally have done it, and it would not have sounded that good. So is that the right way to write letters?
No.
I mean, I don't.
Period. No, it is not, because that is not writing. Because you didn't write the letter. The letter was written, but you didn't write that letter for him.
You're exactly right on that. I mean,
you had AI create a letter for him, but you didn't write that letter.
Right. I'm not the author that.
Yeah, so he could, if he had any kind of AI training, he could have done that for himself. And a lot of people are going to be doing that. That does not mean it's right. And
Yeah,
just
I'm
because
not sure.
it had the effect, the desired effect, does not mean it is ethical.
Yeah, I have to
So,
agree.
and
I mean,
that is just my opinion, and I'm flying in the face of what is happening now.
yeah,
Yep.
I think I agree with you because I appreciated the efficiency of being able to do that. See, I was super busy. And I literally did that on my phone again in a parking lot because I was trying to go somewhere else. And so I pulled over and I said, well, click, click, and it took about 5 minutes in total
Mm-hmm.
for that. Because I asked him on the phone. He was on the phone while I was doing it. And I was saying, what's the address and what do you want to achieve and blah, blah, blah. And I typed it all in, hit copy and paste, hit enter, boom, there's his letter that fast. And it just felt like cheating in a way, but I was glad. I'm so glad he got his loan modified. It
Well,
changed
and
his life.
the other piece of that is that your friend needed a favor that you could do for them. You did it, and that's another bonding moment in that relationship because they really needed you and you came through for them. The tool you used might be a tool that I would feel dubious about personally, but when you think of it as friends helping each other, you did exactly what your friend needed, and the desired result was good. So that's another way to look at it. But I, it's unhuman and inhuman, and we are already not human enough, in my opinion.
Well, honestly, when I sent it to him, my thought was, I wonder if a human is even going to read this letter, or if it'll
Right,
just go
and it might
straight to
not.
another.
It might not be.
I don't know. All I wanted to do was just help him out, like he said. And, the
Well,
world.
and I'm working hard. I'm judgmental about the tools, but I'm not judgmental about the people who use the tools
Yeah.
because it does make life easier. Now, for a lot of people, and you are not one of them, so they gained the 3 hours it would have taken to write the letter. They got it done in 5 minutes. Then what did they do with that 2 hours and 55 minutes that they saved? Did they just scroll through social media and post pictures of their lunch? Then why save time if you're just gonna waste time?
Exactly. I mean, I get that. And
But
these
I'm
these are
old
these
and
are these
crunchy.
are deep questions. These are deep questions.
But
Oh,
a
do
lot
you
of people
remember
are not
that?
asking those questions.
No, of course not.
No, it's like, oh boy, I got this. This is coming. I could write a whole book now. All those people have been saying for years, oh, I would love to write a book. Well, now they can. They can put the parameters into an AI tool, and that AI tool will spit out 100,000 words.
They can make themselves the star of a movie or a music video. I saw one and I thought, this is the devil. This is the island of. See, I always kind of thought that the Isle of Dr. Moreau was about human purpose
Ugh.
first. Okay. I just, yeah. But I saw this thing on AI. It's a new way they make money is you take a photograph of yourself and you take a photograph of your dead relative and you send them both there and they animate the dead relative and have the relative walk over and hug you and y'all
Yeah,
have a nice hug and
it's terrifying. It's terrifying. A gal that interviewed me back at the herb conference, and I like this woman a lot, and I like her work a lot. She did a video of the interview with me, and in it, she had posted that photo that's just out in the world of my great grandmother in the doorway of her store on Robert Street
oh
with one of her sons and his friend. And she had posted that as part of it about my history in that neighborhood. And then she did one of those AI animation things where my great grandmother walked down the steps of the store with the
Ugh,
2 little boys. And I got to tell you, it freaked me the fuck out. And she didn't
I
ask
don't either.
permission to do it. I know she thought this will be a sweet thing to do. Oh, and look, there's Byron's great grandmother, and she's walking around, and it skeeved me out.
Send me the link. Not that I
I'll
need
say
any more even out, but yeah, it was. I don't know what to say. Remember when I got all wigged out over that Billy Joel video
yes.
when he came out with that new song, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's always been my first reaction. Was this is wrong? This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. There's something about this that's wrong. What it is, I can't tell you. I can't put words to it yet. But there's something wrong with it, in my opinion. I'm glad technology exists, maybe. Sometimes I wonder. Sometimes I wonder if I reached my height back in the early 1800s or something, and it's all been downhill since then. That ought to fuel a few rumors. Maybe people think I'm a robot too. Like, you've heard that one, right?
Yes.
What is happening to me? Someone turn me off. I think I'm blowing a fuse.
Musically, I have a feeling this is going to be a good year.
Good.
I just have a feeling. So I've got a search thing, and I forget what it's called now, but it's the gals in Marshall that Judy Rhodes sings with.
Oh, nesting birds.
Nest of singing birds.
Nest of singing birds. Yeah.
I'm watching the coffee houses and stuff there to see when they're coming out. I want to hear them. I want to go out and.
They did a big celebration last week that included Judy Rhodes's birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, and I wish I
man.
could have been there. I wish we could have been there for that.
Well, me and you'll get out that way. I'm looking forward to it.
Do you follow Sheila Kay on Facebook? Because she almost always announces when they're doing something.
I may, and I don't.
Or Donna Ray Swan. They kind of keep that publicized.
I'll look now. I probably do. I need to wean out some of the extra stuff I've got going on Facebook. It is a real pain in the butt for me to get on Facebook anymore because I've been so liberal with click and like. And of course, when you click like, then they say, "Oh, we're gonna shove that down her throat now. She likes this."
More of that.
Yeah. So I've been
and you don't even have to click like. You can just mention, like I mentioned, I was looking for some carpets for the temple, and then suddenly
they pick up the word.
My feed is full of carpet ads. Yeah, and probably I'm doing it again right now.
I wish I could say no, you're not, but I can't say that, especially after the conversation that we just had.
Yes, no, absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna switch gears and say, how's your little baby tomato plants doing?
Oh, they look so good. Now, when we get some actual summer, they're going to look better.
But
they're definitely thriving.
Good. That's good to hear.
I've got some beautiful hibiscus and an old-fashioned snowball bush. And I don't know if you need any lemon verbena. I'm rooting all of them. If you want any or all, let me know. And I've got some mint.
I would love some because I've got lemon balm, but I don't have lemon verbena.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that takes off. If it does, I'll bring you some.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
got you some more eggs, passed on the egg cartons, and she said, "Thank you very, very much." And I'm going to get a hold of her soon. I want her to tell some of her stories. I think would be kind of appropriate for the podcast. And I'm trying to occasionally have some folks on.
That'd be great.
Yep. And let's talk about weirdlings. Let's have a Zoom with them soon, or do some.
I would like that. I'm sorry that didn't work last time, but I understood why it didn't work.
Yeah, we didn't give them any notice, and so let's
Didn't give
do
them
that.
nothing.
I miss talking with them and seeing them and all of that. So if you let me know what your schedule holds, because you're the one with the schedule, you
Yep,
know.
yep.
Yeah, and I guess that's it. How? No, I guess that's it. So next week you're going to be down or headed over to your daughter's.
This weekend, yeah. And then next week I'm going down to Orlando.
Orlando. Okay. And are you driving
Flying.
with
Oh, I'm flying
flying?
to Orlando. I'm flying Allegiant, and I got a direct flight because I am so sick of going through Charlotte, because you
Mhm.
never know what's going to happen in Charlotte, where your plane won't come in, or your plane came in 20 minutes ago and somehow
Yeah.
it's already gone, or Charlotte's just a mess. It's a big mess.
Well, when you get back, my car will have new tires on it probably, and I'm actually kind of ready to take a trip if you want to take a trip somewhere. Let's
Yeah,
just honestly, it doesn't even have to be far. We can just hang out a little bit and
yeah.
get some recordings. I wouldn't mind driving down to the river and getting some recordings right there at the river. There's
Uh-huh.
places to sit and we don't have to walk much, but
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be
let's
good.
plan on that. I'd really like that.
I am the spirit of dark and lonely water, ready to trap the unwary, and this is the kind of place you'd expect to find me. But no one expects to find me here. It seems too ordinary.
All right, and I don't think I have any other big news. Mom's doing good.
You knew that was going to be my next question, because I
I
am her
did.
biggest fan.
Yep, she went out there today and looked at all the different plants. I've got it's a bunch of ragtag plants because she has a green thumb, but the last few years she hasn't. And so there's a lot of things that have been sitting. So I've got a lot of cat dog. No. I've got a lot of things sitting around, including I've got a poinsettia, and it is coming back to beat the band.
That's great.
I can't believe all the stuff coming back. Stuff I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh, okay, and put it outside. And sure enough, it's been coming up. So we probably have 20 or 30 different things that are in pots and blooming.
I love it.
She also has some of the most gorgeous lilies that I've ever seen in my life. Some of them, she's got 3 or 4 of them that are like black and orange. No joke.
Oh,
They're mostly black as far as I can see. And she's got, of course, the salmon colored ones that are really common. And she's got, oh my God, Byron, if I could, I would have liked those. I would have loved to have grown them if I could have back in the day when I had all this time to grow stuff. I can't find them. I thought I took pictures of them, but I didn't. And Mom's just one of those natural green thumb people. She can drop something on the dirt and it'll grow for her. So doesn't that make you sick sometimes? Y'all
I
people with
love
real
it. I love it.
So your garden's doing good, I guess.
I don't know. I've been away for a week. I hope, have we had rain since I've been gone?
Yeah, once or twice, and it wasn't anything awful. We also had some wind and cool temperatures.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
It was cold in Middle Tennessee too.
Was it?
It never, I mean, it got up to, like, during the day, it might get up to 80, but at night it was cold enough. I wear the sweater I've got on right now.
Oh, I'm glad that it wasn't, one of those where you just sweat your way through it.
Yeah.
I don't
that
think that'd be very
helps.
comfortable for you.
That
So,
helps. The real pasty faced girl can't do no heat.
I get it. Oh, cat dog agreed. What's the
Meow,
matter,
meow.
bud?
Cat dog. Kitty, 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 kitty. Who's the kitty, kitty, kitty? It's the cat dog. Is that cat dog? Is that my boy cat dog? Oh, where's the kitty? What a good boy. He's a good boy. Where's my cat dog? What's he doing?
He's meowing at you. Can you hear him at all?
I can't hear him.
Come here. He's
Oh,
answering.
there he is. He's a good boy. Who's a good cat dog? He's a kitty, 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 kitty. Who's a boy? Oh, what a good boy. He's so handsome. Alicia, you got the
Wide load.
handsomest cat in the world. He's so handsome
Hear
and
that?
good. He's a good boy. Meow. Oh, look at that. He loves him some mama. Look at that mama and her baby.
Who
Such a
said
good
it?
boy.
Okay. Oh,
That's enough.
it
He's
took
like,
a
that's
hernia
enough.
trying to pick him up. The wide load. He's had a
He's a wide-bodied cat.
hefty. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll let you go. I
Well,
can't think of
always
anything
good to
worth
see you and
saying.
talk to you.
Good to see you too. Let me know how your schedule looks later this week and maybe we
I
can
will.
do some. All right.
That sounds
All right.
good.
I'll be in touch here.
All right. And thank you to everybody listening who has held us up and carried us these past
Oh my
8+ months.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're glad to be getting back to tales and superstitions and how you grow tomatoes and what strawberry onions are and all that stuff. So we're glad to be
Yeah.
able to get back to that in between me shaking my fist at elected officials.
Don't even, and we don't need to make this podcast twice as long. If we get to, you know what? You have no idea how much I had to take out of the podcast to make it happen last week. I took out so much because me and you were not in pretty moods.
No, we were, I finally finished listening to it this morning and I thought, well, she cleaned that up because I remember we were like, it was like claws out, blood on the teeth. Yeah.
I know it. So anyway, well, listen,
right.
thank you. And thanks for hanging out. And everybody, thank you for putting up with us. And thank you for letting me talk about my woes all the time.
Oh, bless your heart. Ain't nobody got woes like we ain't got no woes. Or
Hopefully
something.
we'll write music about it.
I was just thinking now that sounds some blues. The Helene Blues. The Helene Blues.
Be a hell of a song. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll
All
see
right.
you soon.
Love you big. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Have
Bye,
behavior.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
WYRD Radio.
What did you say? What did you say? Are you mad? No. Are you shy? Little? No, you're fierce and bold, aren't you? Yeah. You're a little confused. Why are you on the counter? Oh, that you can't hear. I understand.